Cancers, to a night of revelation and ascent here on Twitchy Tuesdays. In episode 44, we are diving deep into all things Capricorn, that disciplined embrace of Capricorn tonight on the most amazing and beautiful Cancer full moon. We will be covering the personal planets as they activate this week. We're going to do a January overview. We're also going to dive into some of the energies of 2024. And before we end with the Twitchy tip of the week, I have some fun announcements for things that are coming in 2024. And as always, we've got that Twitchy tip of the week to bring us into 2024. But right now, let's ascend together in cleaning out the broom closet. First and foremost, this is what dropped while I was saging, getting ready, doing the card thing. We have the Five of Cups. Excuse me. I don't know where my voice just went. We had the Five of Cups, and this so much to me just honed in on the energy of this Cancer full moon. It is tonight. We are here. Happy Yule. We're still in the midst of the 12 days of Yule. Merry Christmas. Christmas was yesterday. It is Boxing Day today, so happy Boxing Day. We also have the start of Kwanzaa. Very, very Merry Kwanzaa. Happy blessings to everyone out there. No matter what you celebrate, whatever it is for you during this time, it is all true. We are all here experiencing the Cancer full moon today. Five of Cups. So we're going to leave that. That was in episode 43. You can go back and watch that episode and listen, get all of the details about why the Five of Cups ties so perfectly to the message of loss of innocence that came out in that episode. Again, that's episode 43. Also today, Chiron station direct in Aries at 15 degrees, 27 minutes. Again, that all was covered in episode 43. Tomorrow, 12/27. So we get this loss of innocence, this Chiron stationing direct, and then there is no break all the way through till the end of the year. 12/27, Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. Page of Swords and Five of Swords came out. There is something here that Mercury wants to say, y'all. There is some ideas, thoughts, intuition, something exciting coming in his square with Neptune and Pisces at 25 degrees 1 minute. That same day, the Sun in Capricorn will trine Jupiter retrograde in Taurus. Wrong one. That is right here. That's that Page of Swords energy. I feel like this Mercury retrograde Sagittarius square Neptune, and then ending the same day, 12/27, with his conjunction to Mars at 24 degrees 22 minutes. Here you go. There's your Seven of Swords. So you've got this play on energy happening on the 27th, this play on energy of, the burdens that you're willing to leave behind, the understanding of the things that you're going to be bringing forward. Mercury is almost done with his retrograde. He will be stationing direct on 1/1. So what is he going to leave in Sagittarius? Mars is forward movement. So as he meets up with Mars, Mars is like, what do you need? What do you need me to carry for you? What do you need me to watch over? There's things that are left here. I'm moving forward though. So I'm not going to sit here and wait for you. We'll talk about that energy when we get there. In the overview, we will talk about this conjunction because it's really important and it has January themes to it. There will be a comeback to this very Seven of Swords conversation in January. And at the same time, through all of that, where that can be, those are personal planets that can be felt very personally. It can be felt, especially if Mercury retrograde's just been in motion for you. This Sun Capricorn trine Jupiter retrograde in Taurus on that same day. This page may need, right? Like this page, what does it have in common? Look, it's kind of looking at this Seven of Swords. What does, how do I want to put this? What does nobility have to do with the common man? That's how I'm kind of hearing this, is what do these outer planets have to do with the personal planets? What is this conversation between the sun in Capricorn and Jupiter in Taurus have to do with Mercury's journey with his retrograde and his meetup with Mars? How does Neptune play a part in all of this? And there is something here to take away, but is the page loud enough? Is the page seen enough? Or are you so worked up in this Seven of Swords and this like taskmaster, right? We've got that strong Capricorn energy in, you've got kind of these blinders on. This is all I can focus on. I just want to do my work. I don't want to worry about anything. Like, let me finish this retrograde. Let me finish the holidays with my family, and I'll focus on that later. I have this feeling this Page of Swords is either going to be timid or going to be very loud. If you've got something that needs to be done, don't wait for it. That's what I'm getting on the 27th. If there is something that is in your face that is waiting, it needs to be addressed. Something new needs to come out. Don't wait for it. Don't be so wrapped up that you can't accomplish, can't close out, can't own. Because, you know, one of the things with Mercury stationing direct, 1, 2, 3, 5 days later, it may be much harder 5 days later. This 7 can become a 10 really, really quickly. It can become a 10 very quickly. It can become burdensome, even more so. It could take you away from that joy of this season of what you're trying to accomplish. Then on the 28th, Mars in Sagittarius will square Neptune in Pisces, 25 degrees, 2 minutes. On the 29th, we've got Page of Swords came out again, by the way. So this is a Sagittarius conversation right now. On 12/29, Venus in Scorpio, sextiling Pluto in Capricorn, 29 degrees, 16 minutes. And then right after that sextile, Venus, yay, 3 of rods, 3 of rods. Look at that. Venus enters Sagittarius. That also can be found on episode 43, along with the next day, Jupiter stationing direct in Taurus, 5 degrees, 35 minutes. Y'all, the 30th, it's here. We are closing out on this date. We are closing out on Jupiter stationing direct. All found in episode 43. This right here, this 3 of rods, I'm hearing that they want more. So here we have Venus finally entering Sag as Mercury and Mars are way on the other side. They're kind of like, again, bookmarking. We've got Saturn and Neptune doing the bookmark squares. Venus gets in. She's going to apply to that square with Saturn right away. And she met up with Pluto right before. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But there's like grand horizons coming. There's great things coming up for Venus. There's like this fresh energy as she enters Sagittarius. And then all of a sudden, Jupiter stations direct the next day. So now here we have Venus in Jupiter's home sign, Jupiter in Venus's home sign. Like, there's so many wonderful things about ready to unfold, about ready to happen. And it's all guided. It's all purposeful. It's all right exactly where it needs to be. On the 31st, Mars in Sagittarius will oppose Vesta retrograde in Gemini, 27 degrees, 4 minutes. Ceres in Sagittarius will trine Chiron in Aries. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. Hey, bam. That 10 of Cups Right after Jupiter stations direct, that 10 of Cups, Mars opposing Vesta, Sirius in Sagittarius, trining Chiron in Aries at 15 degrees, 28 minutes. And then voila, 2024, we've got a new year. Venus in Sagittarius will square Saturn in Pisces at 3 degrees, 18 minutes. Mercury will station direct in Sagittarius at 22 degrees, 11 minutes. That all happens on 1/1. 2024, y'all. It's about ready to be real. All right, let's do our last Mercury and Venus check-in. This is the final one of December, and we got a Mars flavor to it. We brought in a little Mars. Mars needed to be talked about here, especially with his journey with Mercury. So let's start with Venus first. As you just heard, Venus is sextiling Pluto. And that really, when I was feeling into that sextile, we've got, here comes back out that 7 of Swords. We've got the 3 of Pentacles. So this Venus sextile Pluto gave me a sense of deja vu. Like, we've been doing things. There's learnings that have occurred. Venus and Pluto have had this really amazing sort of like kindred relationship since her retrograde in 2021 to 2022. That's where she was with Pluto, Capricorn. She has really had this like a journey that Pluto can be proud of. 3 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords. This sort of energy, both of those put together, these are the things that Pluto supports us in. The major transformation that we need in order to reach our highest self. The connection pieces, the work that needs to be done, the letting go of old paradigms, the switch in power, the showcase of fear and embracing that fear, moving through that fear. All of those things, like Pluto and Venus, like really got this relationship under order. There's a mutual respect here. And it kind of felt like this meetup that they're going to have, this sextile that they're going to have. I love that it's a sextile. It reminded me of this like moment of pride for Pluto, a moment of acknowledgement of the work done, the work that Venus has done, even the work that Pluto's done. But it's like, I saw in the image, it's like that Pluto's like looking at Venus, like slight smile, maybe not a full blown like cheesy grin, but like a little slight lift of the lips and a nod. And that's all she needs. That's it. That's all she needs. She acknowledges, she gets the acknowledgement of all of this work with the 7 of Swords. She gets all the acknowledgement of all of the work with the 3 of Pentacles. So now we have not only the work of what she's done mentally, in her voice, standing in her power, all of those things, but also all the work that she's done to bring that down here, make that relevant in her life, set the foundations that are needed for all of that. And it reminded me a lot, this Venus and Pluto, it reminded me a lot of what my dad used to tell me, and still tells me. Anytime that I do something amazing, my dad is always like, you get an atta girl. And that's that moment. This is what I feel like. So thanks, Dad, for that. I love it when I get my little atta girls. He doesn't bring them out very often, but when they happen, it's important. I hear it. I feel it. And again, it's like that moment of pride, that moment of warmth, that moment of, all right, I did. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. Now let's head over to Mars. So we get our Mercury, and which we get a Mars flavor too. So Mars and Mercury, brothers in fire right now. And both are equally, I mean, obviously Mars is great in a fire sign. Mercury does really well in fire as well, but it's 2 very different ways to approach the fire. So Mars tends to get very action focused, that focus that doesn't take kindly to slowing down, doesn't take kindly to questions or details or delays. It can be, even though there's this propensity to do a lot, sometimes because there's not that moment of thought or clarity, it's just fire, go, go, go. Sometimes it can be sloppy. Sometimes Mars can get a little ahead of himself or bite off more than he can chew, is a great phrase. Where Mercury in fire ends up getting, I love this Two of Cups that just popped out. So Mercury in fire, I love, even though this is more of a feminine, feminine energy over here. I love that it's the Two of Cups because it is this bond, the bond of the brothers. Mercury in fire builds up desires. It brings excitement. He wants to, like, sometimes depending on the fire, there's this need to find out things, go bigger. That energy and that drive to think through the next big thing, to like put passion behind it versus just the action. And with Mercury already in his retrograde, going to be turning direct and then headed back into Capricorn, all of this is necessary for him to bring back that exciting energy into Capricorn. So it's almost like there are two different ways that they are approaching one project. So they sit down. What was that date again? Let me look. Mercury conjunct Mars, the 27th. Oh my gosh, tomorrow. Hello. So it's tomorrow. They sit down, they get a big project. That's how I'm seeing this. They sit down, they get a big project. They have to work on it together. They have to learn how to work with each other. There's that Two of Cups again. Look, I can feel you. I love you as my brother, but executing as brothers, executing in that feeling center can sometimes be very challenging. So they've got to learn how to work together. And even in that, the devil pops out. That can get a little combusty. It can get a little explosive. It can get a little frustrating, especially because Mercury is still retrograde and all Mercury wants to do is stop. He's going to be slowing down. He might not want to make decisions the way that he's been making them. So this is an interesting one with the devil here. I did get the image as I was thinking about Mercury and Mars, and that goes back to that devil too. I got the image of two brothers playing with like a science kit, the tower, devil in the tower, that two brothers playing with a science kit, and they're doing it in secret. Like they know they're not supposed to be mixing chemicals in the downstairs basement. And when I saw it as like an old English cottage home or like one of the old Tudor homes, like bricks, and they're like down in the cellars and they're playing with this like science thing, working on rockets or blowing stuff up, and something doesn't quite go exactly to plan. They're trying to work the problem together. It doesn't quite go exactly as planned. And what do you know? It explodes. Here comes the tower. It explodes, and you like hear the nanny yelling from upstairs, like, what's going on? And like all of a sudden chaos ensues. And like she's running down, trying to find out where the noise came from. The boys are like, nothing, and they're running away. It's got that, there's some very playful energy within it. Again, they need to work together. It is a serious project, but there is playfulness to it. Like there's this ability to make this tower moment just like these people here. Yes, I know they're falling, but maybe they got on squirrel suits and they can just pop them open and fly off. So take that for what that is. One other thing that could happen tomorrow and then into January. It could also bring up Ace of Rods just popped out. It could also bring up some old energy. You're going to have to answer for some things, this old action, this old energy from October and November when Mercury and Mars were together. So there might be some things that are left out in the open, energetic ties that need to be closed off. Like you may have to answer for something that you said or did back then, but also we do have to look forward into January, because on January 27th, they come back into Capricorn and conjunct again in Capricorn on January 27th. That's when the project due date is. So if you're feeling that energy of the project, like there's something that Mercury and Mars is working on for you, the due date of that project is the 27th. That's when things have got to either get complete, your timelines due, your initial findings are due, your proposals due, whatever that looks like. Remember, between tomorrow and that month later, it's exactly a month later, there may be things that you have to answer for. There may be maybe gifts coming out. There may be actions that you guys need to take. And you're like, it could be something like you end up having to take an action that you mentioned in October and November. Mercury mentioned to Mars back then, and Mars was like, no, we're not doing that. That's dumb. Now, all of a sudden, Mars is like, nope, I totally get it. It's time now. Let's do it. So Mercury, Venus with a little bit of Mars, check-in complete. Let's head over to Mars and Capricorn now. From there, we're going to talk a little bit about Capricorn. We will discuss January highlights, end off with 2024 highlights, get to the Twitchy tip of the week, and get back to our celebrating. I am off after this for the rest of the year, so super excited. Just gonna relax, gonna Capricorn. We'll talk about that. All right, Mars and Capricorn first. So Mars and Capricorn is exalted. This is where Mars gets good. I love Capricorn season. I love that we get a Mars during Capricorn season. Y'all watch the F out. Like, hold my beer. Y'all are going to just find out. Like, it's going to be a whole thing. Cap is about to be lit up when Mars gets in there. You think if you're feeling the Capricorn energy already, where you're just like, I'm Capricorning, I'm doing all the things, I'm making all things organized, I've got timelines for things. Holy cow, things are happening. Movement is in place. What's up? Wait until Mars gets in here, because Mars gets you super hyper active towards your goals. He gets you driven. He gets you persistent. He gets you not taking no for an answer on things that you really want and need. It's very heads down, do the work, be responsible for your energy, being responsible for your time, being responsible for your commitments, which after Sag is a wonderful thing, because now you can kind of like, no, we're not doing that. Being responsible for whatever goals you're setting forward into 2024. It's very Eight of Pentacles energy. It's very like the guys on the pentacle, knocking it away, and he's got the 8 there. Very strong Eight of Pentacles energy. Couple of things with Mercury and Capricorn that you do want to watch is you want to watch your pride. Pride can just come out, and just being too prideful. The Emperor, being too prideful, not asking for help, not wanting assistance, not wanting to slow down. It's really that energy of working for self or only with self. So watch that. Primal urges can be a really big thing right now. There's a very thin line between us and the animal world. We are animals after all. We are part of nature. And between what human, this experience, and those very primal urges, they're within all of us. And so when Mars gets into Capricorn, we can really blend those lines a lot more, have more of that primal animalistic sort of sensibilities and urges. So this is where you use your Saturn. This is where you look, see where Capricorn is in your natal chart, figure out where Saturn's at. You can also look to Saturn as a transiting planet. He is in Pisces right now. And so it's the Saturn sort of energy that ends up checking primal urges like that. Saturn knows you have to live on this earth, that it's not like a free for all. You can't, we've got rules and regulations and things like that we've got to live within the construct of. So those are two things to watch about with Mars and Capricorn. And speaking of Capricorn, I did not want to cause anybody a Mandela effect moment. So I did not change any of the titles or the descriptions, but we are actually going to postpone the Capricorn new moon reading until the 2nd. I want to give it time. I want to give it the right energy, the right space, because it is our first new moon of 2024, of the new year, and it belongs in the new year. So we are going to wait till 1-2. Additionally, it is a Cancer full moon today. We got to let Cancer have its moment. Let's not skip the integration. Let's not do that. We need to be having this moment. We need to strongly wrap up 2023 before heading into that 2024 energy. So I'm going to save it. Episode 45, that will happen on January 2nd of 2024. All of January is already scheduled out on YouTube. So you can go in there and hit those notify me buttons. That will let you know when I go live. And yeah, that's where I'm at with that Capricorn new moon. So after this episode, I'll go in and I'll change the description box as well as the title. Yeah, look, Hermit, 7 of Wands, like Capricorn. Hermit, we're not done yet. 2023 is not done yet. We've got this Cancer full moon today, the 7 of Rods. It will be time. We're setting our foundation. Guard, protect, do the things you need to do to close out 2023 right. All right. Speaking of 2024, as we do the last Twitchy Tuesday of every month. Oh, moon popped out. All right. The moon. So as we do, January highlights. At the end of every month, we do the next month highlights. So here are the highlights. This moon, bringing out the secrets, bringing out what we're looking forward to into 2024. Just little sprinkles. So January, lunations. 1/11 is that Capricorn new moon, 20 degrees, 44 minutes. 1/25, we will get our first full moon of the new year, a Leo full moon at that, 5 degrees, 15 minutes. For stations, we will have Mercury stationing direct in Sagittarius at 22 degrees, 11 minutes on 1/1. On 1/12, Juno will retrograde in Virgo at 21 degrees, 52 minutes. On 1/27, Uranus will finally join Jupiter direct in Taurus at 19 degrees, 5 minutes. And then for our ingresses in January, on 1/4, Mars will head into Capricorn. 1/13, Mercury will head into Capricorn. 1/20, Aquarius season begins. And then 1/20, I think it's like within hours of us going into Aquarius season. Pluto, I'm getting goosebumps already. Pluto will head back into Aquarius for the second time. Full body goosebumps. I'm very excited for that transit. 1/23, Venus will head into Capricorn to close out the month for us with ingresses. Transit wise, like 2024 January is like a New Year's buffet of transits. It's kind of all over the place. So what I did, instead of like how many squares and stuff like that, I actually wanted to highlight the transits that I think are going to be really interesting ones to watch out for. So on 120, we have the Sun and Pluto conjunct. Y'all, you know the universe doesn't do anything by halves. Synchronicity, listen, Sun, Pluto conjunct. 29 degrees, 59 minutes of Capricorn. 120. That is a date. Circle it. Figure out what you're doing on that day. I don't know. Like it's going to be a very interesting day. Aurora, hi. Of course you can ask a question. If you want to throw it up in the chat, please feel free to do so. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Aurora, I will watch the stream chats to see what your question is. And if not, if you've already dropped, please feel free to leave it in the comments after the fact, and I can definitely answer via the comments as well. Okay, Sun-Pluto conjunction. Not enough time right now. Let's get through 2023 before we look into that. We will definitely talk all about it. 127, Mercury and Mars, their second conjunction, 17 degrees, 18 minutes of Capricorn. The other thing that's really interesting to me in January is we transition away from the squares with Saturn and Neptune that were present in Sagittarius, and that was in December. And instead, now that we are in Capricorn and we've got planets and points, luminaries in Capricorn, now we've got Jupiter and Uranus trines. Uranus will still be retrograde for some of them he won't. Jupiter will be direct. So this is awesome. This is like go forward energy. I'm very excited about these trines. A lot of the trines are with our personal planets. So just expansion, a lot of expansion. And, we're not going to borrow trouble on this one. However, squares are on their way. So it is something to remember, because we want to take advantage of the time that we have. When planets, points, luminaries get into Aquarius, at that time, we will go back to squares between Jupiter and Uranus. So just an FYI. All right. Chiron also becoming more and more activated in January. So that kind of gives a little high-level overview. Of course, we will talk about all of it as we get into each Twitchy Tuesday in 2024. Five of Swords wanted to come out. 2024 highlights. All right. That Five of Swords, look, I already put it back, but it's like, oh, you were going to talk about Pluto and Aquarius, and that's why I wanted to be present. My bad. All right. We got the imagery, Five of Swords. So 2024 highlights. Obviously, way too much to cover in this. These are simply highlights. There is so much happening in 2024, but just to give you a flavor of eclipses and a couple other little things to watch out for, here we go. Pluto and Aquarius, Five of Swords. Five of Swords, the imagery in the Five of Swords is kind of this shadowed, hooded figure looking down. It's got, death kind of all around it. It's slayed some demons, some devils. It's gotten its way. It's gotten where it needs to be, but at what cost? Pluto and Aquarius. He who holds the technology holds the power. We'll talk much, much more about this. This is actually very, very exciting. I love Pluto in Aquarius. I love the energy that kind of clicked in this year. I am very excited for this transit. It's not rose-colored glasses. I get that there are a lot of things that come with Pluto transiting a new sign. We saw it happen with Capricorn. Very well aware that there is going to be ups and downs. But overall, this second round of Pluto in Aquarius, I think, is going to provide us with a lot more insights, a lot more of understanding that Five of Swords and how it was impacting everything as it went through its first cycle, its first round. So there's that. Mars in Cancer Leo situation. That's literally how I had to write it. Knight of Cups pops out. Mars in Cancer Leo situation. I truly feel like we just got out of the 100-year Mars and Gemini cycle. I know that that's being facetious, but still that's what it felt like at the time. And here we roll again. So 2024 will bring in a Mars Cancer Leo situation, a long extended stay for both of those signs from Mars. Just be ready, be prepared. Again, we'll talk way more about that as we get there, but that is something on the radar to be ready for. We have 4 Mercury retrogrades on an Earth fire cycle next year. Ooh, the Emperor came out. Yes. Fire and Earth very present in in this card altogether. So 4 Mercury retrogrades, we get a little spicy flavor with Mercury. Sometimes he, kind of has, like, he'll start off in Earth and then kind of head into, retrograde back into fire. So it just depends upon which one it is, which we will cover more of. Jupiter will also head to Gemini next year. So that's something really exciting to look forward to. And then let's talk about the eclipses. So I will go over the eclipse dates so that way you know when eclipse season is going to occur and what is being tied. So remember, we are on the Aries Libra axis. So the 2024 eclipses, we have one March 25th of 2024. That will be a Libra lunar eclipse at 5 degrees of Libra. On April 8th, 2024, this one's it, y'all. This is the Aries solar eclipse. Not to take away anything from the lunar eclipses or the eclipses that are happening in September and October, but y'all, this April 8th eclipse, I'm calling it the Chiron eclipse. That's just what it is. It's exactly what it is. I will tell you, if you can make plans now, be in San Antonio. It's going right over San Antonio. It's going to be a spectacle. I cannot wait. Might even meet y'all there. Who knows? But that one is going to happen at 19 degrees of Aries, and it's packing a punch. A big punch. All right, September 18th, 2024. This is where we start to see little bits of glimmer of the next eclipse cycle. We have the Pisces lunar eclipse at 26 degrees of Pisces, followed by October 2nd, 2024 with a 10-degree Libra solar eclipse. And that will round out our eclipse season of 2024. So we have a little bit earlier eclipses. If you remember, we had October eclipses, beginning of October, late October this year. So kind of coming back a little bit. So there is so much more about 2024 that I definitely want to cover. And I'm excited to share with you that I will have a new series out and that will be launching in January. Super excited about that, where we are going to cover 2024 in detail. 2024, I'm going to be covering quarterly. I like to focus and break it down quarterly with the energies that you're going to see quarterly, discuss the overall themes, highlight major transits, use tarot and oracle for guidance. More to come on all of that, but that will be launching this week, or the details about when you can get in on that series. Another launch that's occurring as soon as we dip into 2024 is the pre-sale for my new course, Astrology. I cannot wait to bring this out. This course aims to provide you with advanced, for the beginner, more advanced astrology insights into signs and planets through the houses. That's going to help deepen your understanding and just equip you with the knowledge and tools to gain profound insights into your dafas, or the casting of oracle, and connect astrology to your IFA practice. That is what it is focused on. If you are not an IFA practitioner, totally fine. The class is for any and all that are open to learning, open and interested in growing their knowledge. There will be limited spots available for this class, so make sure you sign up once it is launched. And again, that should be launching this week. Follow me on the socials. You'll know where to find everything. And before we unveil this week's Twitchy tip, I'd like to invite you to explore more of what Habitual Sages has to offer. If you are finding value in this cosmic journey, consider giving us a high five, hitting the like button, subscribing to our channel, and checking out our other videos, even sharing our other videos with others in your circle. We are also active on X with exclusive content you can't get on any other social platforms. And you can also subscribe to become part of the Sage Circle at www.habitualsages.com. That gets you insight before anybody else. All right. Twitchy tip of the week. Let's round it out. Okay. New Year's. So as we transition over into a new Gregorian calendar year, which is the year 2024, we have a New Year's Eve grand Earth trine. Look at that. 4 of Cups coming out for the grand Earth trine. I know it's Cups, but I will tell you, the moon is present, so very apropos that they're Cups. But how earthy is this card? For real, though. Like, there is a lot of earth in this card. So New Year's Eve grand Earth trine has Jupiter at 5 degrees, 34 minutes of Taurus, the sun at 9 degrees, 42 minutes of Capricorn, and the moon at 2 degrees, 6 minutes of Virgo. So I typically like to work within 3-degree orbs. With the grand Earth trine, it is a little extended out. However, with this Twitchy tip of the week, it's very present. There's something really grounding. There was a very deep message that came through with this New Year's grand Earth trine that is present. Moving forward, leave 2023 where it belongs, in 2023. See all of these? It's sitting on this bed of 2023. These 3 cups, firmly held, delightfully placed, secure in where they are in 2023. If you look up here, this one right here, we have a cup in the sky. What could that be? Hi, 2024. What gifts are you bringing in now? What else can I add to my earthly collection of cups, my abundance of things down here? I don't need to take these anywhere. I don't need to spill more into them. I don't need to cry more into them. I don't need to pour more into them. Leave 2023 where it belongs, in 2023, because there's things coming in. It is a 4, 2024. There is things coming in 2024. Again, you're not ignoring what's here. but you're not being held back by it. You're not 2024. The things you want to accomplish there are not being held back by it. They're not being held back by you, this one right here, you pouring more into things that no longer need to be poured into because they're 2023 things. So that is the Twitchy tip of the week. Spend the rest of this week use Mercury retrograde. Fabulous time to do that. Use Capricorn. Fabulous time to do that. Really look into what these cups are, what 2023 things you no longer need to pour into. Acknowledge, let them be, release them. You do a little candle witchery up into the air, whatever is needed within your practices to let them be, let them remain grounded, let them be nurtured down here by the earth, and welcome in 2024 with this gift, with this awesome cup coming out of nowhere. Walk in proud, walk in strong, walk in full of energy, determination, ready to go, ready to do the work, ready to get on to the next cycle of you. All right, that is it. Last episode of 2023 done. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Happy holiday to everybody out there, no matter what holiday you celebrate, even if you don't celebrate any at all. Blessed season to you. I hope you have a magical, magical Cancer full moon tonight and an amazing Jupiter direct and a fabulous entrance into 2024. Bye, everyone.